Season 1 of Frieren, the highest rated anime on my anime list, is just the beginning. A big part of it is because of one villain, Macht. But you really can't reduce Macht into just a villain. He's an entire story of his own. He takes the concept of villainy to a whole new level in Frieren, using psychological depth to show the true horror of evil. And in a way, Macht's story shaped the entire journey of Frieren, right from the start. Spoiler warning. I promise to release this video for exactly 4 months and 23 days, assuming I actually get this video on time. But honestly, for all these late videos, you can blame me and Shadow of the Earth 3. Redon is just too strong and Mikula's spirit Heartstone. Let's get into the good stuff. The villains. In Season 1, we got some demon action with Aura, Linnea, Lugna, and that one chump. And then Frieren didn't even get a scratch. Demons were basically tutorial bosses for her. And luckily, Season 1 was merely a setup. Yeah, first place on Mal. Only the appetizer, believe it or not. One of the reasons is that after the first class mages exam, the villains just go absolutely off the charts. And before we get into the big name, Macht, let's do a little introduction for the anime-only crowd so you're not completely lost. Let's talk about the 7 sages of destruction, specifically who dealt with them. So there are a couple of individuals who dealt with them. First, we've got the hero party. They dealt with 2 of the sages, Bose the Immortal and Gausam the Miraculous. They also fought Aura, but Aura survived with little left from her Skill of Obedience army. Then there's the hero of the South, the absolute Chad. Look, just hear this. He fought all 7 plus their supervisor, Slag the Omniscient, when he was ambushed by all of them. And not only did he take out 3 of them, he also killed Slag before they finally overwhelmed him. And oh yeah, he did it alone. So that left us with 2. Well, Frieren solos Aura later. That's a classic. But Macht, well, this is when it gets troublesome. We're not really told how Macht survived all of this chaos, but it's pretty obvious when you see him in action. This guy is the strongest of the 7 sages, sure, but when I say strong, I mean, how is this even fair strong? It's safe to say that in the story, no enemies Frieren party encountered are as strong as this. You see, each of the 7 sages has their own unique magic, and honestly, still not even close. For example, Aura, she had a spell, Auserlöse, which is pretty nasty, but it does have a major weakness. Using it to someone with more mana than her, not advisable. And then there's Gausam the Miraculous, his near perfect illusion spell, Ansahelshela, but Himmel and his super sharp senses were able to see through it. And then we have Macht with his spell, Diagolse. It turns anything into something that looks like gold. It also barely has any casting time, its area of effect is massive, and worst of all, it lasts practically forever. Very few counters, no dodging, no blocking. It's the strongest curse Frieren has ever encountered. And guess what? Macht already defeated Frieren once, 600 years ago, and she barely survived. And it also took her 100 years to undo the spell's effect on her right arm. That's how strong Macht is. But here's the thing, Macht isn't just some overpowered big bad. Sure, he's ridiculously strong, but he's also known for one other thing, his 6 coexistence between humans and demons. For a long time, he lived together with humans. He's one of the closest person to Lord Gluck, Lord of Weisse. He practically carried him to power, and the people of Weisse genuinely liked him. Macht also had a close connection to Dengen as his magic tutor. The point is, Macht was living a good life there. Wait a sec. Is this that cliche of, oh look, this demon is actually nice, like a cliche light novel isekai? Luckily no, instead the series does something smarter, turning Macht into a psychologically deep, painful, and pitiful monster. To fully grasp the depth of this, we've got to talk about another demon from the Golden Land arc, Solitar. The dynamic between Solitar and Macht is like the fight between beliefs. One is all about embracing your nature, no matter how destructive it is, and the other is the opposite. It's about fighting against those impulses. If it isn't clear yet, Macht represents, of course, the fighting against those impulses one. Solitar? She revels in it, fully embracing the idea of being born as a natural predator to humans. They first met when Macht was searching for the weird demon that studies humanity. That's Solitar. Macht was there speaking to Solitar to find answers. Why we are different from humans, why we can't feel some emotions humans can. And Solitar was pretty weirded out with Macht's way of thinking. She thinks it's weird, even pointless. They look like humans, they speak like humans, they also have an unexplainable urge to wipe off humans in the most despicable ways possible. Psychologically speaking, that's when you know they can hit humans where it hurt the most. It's like you have the utmost advantage in doing something, but you just say no because you want to do something else. That's basically Solitar's thoughts about it. Pretty weird that Macht didn't ask how Like, how can I understand humans better? And that might be his biggest mistake, because everything just went downhill from there. So Macht wants coexistence. Sounds noble, okay, but the real question is, how does he think he's going to achieve that? In his mind, the key is to understand the differences between humans and demons. The story emphasizes that demons can't feel certain emotions humans can, specifically two that's stated clearly in the story, malice and guilt. And while that's an interesting idea, it leads to two major problems. First, psychologically speaking, Macht wasn't entirely wrong. Emotions do play a huge role in changing behavior, but the question is how hard it is to change something so predetermined. Let's see one example, psychopathy. I talked about it before in my other video that you can think psychopathy as a core trait of demons in Frieren. It's pretty clear to see. And here's the thing about psychopathy. Around 40 to 60% of psychopathy can be attributed to genetic factors. It's a rather big number, yeah, but genetics alone doesn't seal the deal. Environmental influences are equally strong in shaping behavior. Culture is one of them. Now, demon culture is kill humans just because, they live anti-socially except when they absolutely can't, and flaunting individual power is a necessity for them. Fighting your nature when your culture is closely 100% against you fighting it. Honestly, it's like moving mountains. And this is the second problem. How do you study emotions like malice, guilt, when you're a demon? The answer doesn't matter, because Macht had his answer. Kill. He goes full mad scientist. To understand these differences, he betrayed an entire city, people he worked alongside for decades. He turned them into gold, all of them, with the exception of like a couple of cups. And even after all that, he learned nothing. See, he should listen to Solitar. They both curious about humans, they both kill humans, despite the difference in purpose. Who in the hell would buy coexistence when you wipe off their race? And also, Frieren called him out for it. You want coexistence, but you slaughtered countless people? Who in their right mind would buy that? So now the question becomes, why someone as visionary as Macht stuck running in circles like this? It's almost like Macht can't process the obvious. If you want coexistence, maybe don't kill people. That's step one, right? Like even Frieren pointed it out, asking, why do you keep killing humans if your goal is coexistence? And what was Macht's answer? Why would you ask me such a thing? At first, it feels like he's dodging the question, but when you really think about it, it starts to look like he genuinely doesn't understand. It's like there's an invisible wall stopping him from seeing the contradiction. And this idea makes sense when you realize Macht isn't alone in the struggle. He's not the only one with the idea of coexistence. Macht's struggle mirrors the fate of another figure, the Demon King. Demon King also wanted coexistence with humans, and through all of its wars, the human population shrank to 1/3 of before. This is the tragedy of demons in Frieren. No matter how powerful, how cunning, or even how well-meaning they are, they're closer to simple animals than humans. Or even worse, a race that can talk, walk, and act like humans, but entirely a slave to their own nature. In this case, demons in Frieren are stripped of one of the most fundamental concepts of psychology: learning. In some classical theories of psychology, to really say you're learning, there has to be some behavioral change. You know, you actually have to do something differently. In terms of what we're talking about, demons can't learn. And he didn't like it at all. It was shown in his memory that he was distressed because of it, and what it made him. For the showdown between Frieren and Denken versus Solitar and Macht, Frieren labeled Macht as the enemy of humanity. Pitiful. What's more, I think this nature of demons shapes the entire story of Frieren, the character. If you look at Frieren's past and you think about demons the way we talked before, you can see that it affects Frieren even from the very start of her story. In episode 10, we learned that Frieren's village was completely wiped out by demons, leaving her as the sole survivor. And later, it's revealed that this wasn't some random attack, it was a direct order from the Demon King himself. But what's the deal with targeting elves? Sure, elves are strong, and their long lifespan could make them a thorn in the demon side over time. But elves in Frieren are also an individualistic race, not as extreme as demons, but they're not the protector of humans. Look at Minos the Great Mage. Rumors say she caused war in the south. Not a friendly one, that one. Is it only just for the show of power? Maybe. I mean, demons can't escape their nature after all, but I believe it's because, aside from just living longer in general, elves also have a far bigger advantage over demons. Listen to this. Demons are antisocial by nature. Elves, they don't have this issue. Of course, they live more secluded than humans, but they don't reject the idea of cooperation. Frieren and Zeria both live around humans. I also don't think it's a coincidence that the strongest partnerships in Frieren are between humans and elves. You get collaborations like Zeria and Vlama, who completely revolutionized magic for humanity. And then there's Frieren, who became Frieren the Slayer and cooperated with 2 humans and a dwarf to kill the Demon King. Combine humans' fast-paced progress and adaptability with elves' centuries of accumulated knowledge and power. Who knows what Frieren Stark Zion plus Frieren will become? My theory? Yes, this is a theory, is that that's why elves were hunted down by demons. It was about stopping a potential alliance that could spell extinction for demons. And oh, the irony, because by doing just that, they gave Frieren a motive of revenge. It created a human-elf tandem of Frieren Vlama and then created the hero party. Man, Frieren is so epic.